Hello, viewers, and this is your humble host, Josh24214, and yet again, it's another Friday, and today we're going to be tackling another read through of My Hero Academia for chapter 222. So, yeah, last week we had it on last Thursday. It came out a little early, and a whole lot of information finally spewed out with what who's the mad at this point. Everybody knows who the mad doctor is. It's the same doctor from chapter frickin' 1 saying that Izuku had no quirk at all. So people are just going nuts about it, and some people are debating is some more of the theories. Well, we'll probably, if we have to get to it, then we'll talk about it eventually, and I probably would think Horikoshi would be actually smart about it. So let's just get started. So today's chapter is chapter 222. And and on the first page it's just a giant homage of the kaiju film of Mothra having Deku's head just stuck on Mothra, and I think this is just a more promotional material for this year's Godzilla film that's going to be coming out this year, and also, or maybe it could be another reference that that during all that time with Studio Bones have to move season 4 to the fall, and they're going to in between now and sometime soon that they're making a second film that I already shown on the post if anybody has checked. I'm pretty excited about that. So we have Deku's head stuck on a Mothra, and the film goers are Toya, Ida, Uraraka, and Bakugo. And there's more text. A long-awaited new movie key visual has been released. I think it's just a reference to the Mothra film, to Godzilla. So today's chapter is number 222, Shigaraki Tomura's Distortion. So I got a feeling we're gonna get more information on Shigaraki's backstory. So we start off having like a distorted camera, like having the hand covered over the lens, and someone saying, "Stop it, Tenko." So we just continue right where we left off between Shigaraki and the Mad Doctor. So this is what Shigaraki discuss with the Doctor. I I can't remember much from before I met you and Sensei. Ah, ah, I know a lot about that. And we had Shigaraki and then the Mad Doctor and back to Shigaraki. Um, we had the Mad, we had Shigaraki, then the Mad Doctor, and then Shigaraki back again. And yet, when I wear everyone, my anger flows out. So he's just taking off his one of his hands that he always had carried around on his face, and he's just probably looking at it. So ever since that day, I've been thinking, day in, day out. And so we get a flashback to what mostly the aftermath of what happened between Shigaraki, what happened to him as a child. And we all know who comes in. Nobody came. Nobody came. And it's all for one. Nobody came to save you, did they? It must have been so painful. Shimura. Shimura Tenko. It must have been so scary. I must. It must have been so painful. And we see All for One just holding out his hand, offering his hand. That's why you ran searching for a helping hand. It must have been so horrible. And on page 4 we see all the continuation of that to flashback, and Oliver One's just basically hugging young Shigaraki. Surely a hero will just leave it to a just leave it to the heroes to everyone used everyone used excuses like that to ignore you, did they? Who in the world could do something like this to you? It's fine now. You have me now. And we come back to modern time with Shigaraki continuing. What I remember most clearly, it's Sensei's embrace. Until then, I was an empty shell. And we go back to Spinner again, saying Shigaraki? So, there's a lot going on between that. Spinner's more the focus, but I'll probably save that until when we get to the end of this chapter. So we continue more like a few days after what happened, and we see Oliver One in a new room for Shigaraki. Sorry if it's sorry if it's a bit cramped in here, but from today this will be your room. I'll be your sensei from here on out. Sensei. Just what exactly will you teach me? Doctor. Ah, yes, sir. And we see the doctor coming in. And he brings out his. So the Mad Doctor's just bring, and we see more of his face, more in light, but his eyes, we don't see his eyes. Yeah, it's basically the at this point that he's the same doctor from chapter 1 at this point. So I think it's pretty much confirmed at this point. These are your families. These are your family remains. And he just brings in a cart filled with his recognizable hands that would be part of his costume as Shigaraki. You suddenly developed a previously unheard of, unheard of quirk, and killed your family with those hands of. Oh god, yeah, that would mess him up. And young Shigaraki just remembers all that, and we get like bits and flashbacks to that horrific event involving a dog and some crater on the ground, and he feels like he's just doing his scratching fit that we've seen time and time again, and looks like like he's about to vomit. Yeah, that's messed up. Do you remember? And we get more and more, and we got like still unrefined. We don't know much information, and we see young Shigaraki just vomiting. He still remembers that tragedy that caused him to become Shigaraki. So we do see like a broken pottery. Can't really tell. And there was a girl involved, and there was, I think, someone hiding under something, and a person, maybe the father, and some kind of sword or stick or something at the end of the left. And yeah, we get some more narration. What remained in his minds were fragments of visions from the past. And he's just groveling and starting, and young Shigaraki's just groveling and coming closer to the remains of his family's hands that will be part of his costume for the rest of his life. And an unexpected wave of anger, even stronger than his urge to vomit. Shall I fix him? And the Mad Doctor's just having a conversation with all for one. Shall I fix him? No. Even if your memories never return, your feelings will remain embedded in your heart. I can't take away your feelings, your anger, but I can teach you. where to direct those feelings. And young Shigaraki is just embracing those dismembered hands that will forever be part of his costume. And after that, probably that flashback, we go back to Monday and just getting back to what Shigaraki and having the conversation between Shigaraki and the Mad Doctor in his lab, in the Mad Doctor's lab. It, it's strange when I wear everyone. I feel sick to my stomach. I want to throw up, but my heart becomes calm. How strange is that? All that's left is in All that's left in me are a few fragments of those visions from my past. But even so, there's a gaping hole in my heart, and anger keeps pouring out of it. I feel a constant weight on my shoulders. Even if we dis- Even if we were to destroy this hero, hero society, even if we become the rulers of the underworld, this hole in my heart won't disappear. What I really despise is everything. Everything that br- Everything that breathes pisses me off. In that case, why don't in that case, why don't I just destroy it all? Everything once and for all, and we get like a bit of a like in his brief speech saying, "I want to burn the whole world down." We see multiple scenes of Dek, Izuku, Bakugo, Uraga, All Might, everybody, and Flowers and Ebony Wood, and Mount Lady, and like a lot of things occur. You you'll be able to see the mo you will you be able to see the most beautiful horizon. So lend me your strength, Doctor. I'll show you everything from heaven to hell. Damn. That is some speech there, and it's like the Mad Doctor and Spinner is just shocked by all this insanity, raving insanity. And so we go back to the Mad Doctor, and he continues the conversation. Sounds like something out of a child's pipe dream. I'm impressed. You could say all that was. I'm impressed you could say that with a straight face. Alright, I'm in. And we have the Mad Doctor just lunging forward, probably shouting, Alright, I'm in. I'll lend you my strength, Shigaraki Tomura. Let's see what you can do. After all, villains are those who bring pipe dreams to life. And we have Mr. Compress and Toga having like a mini conversation. Whoa, so easy. Tomura, Shigaraki had some pretty disturbing things on his mind, huh? And Toga's just continuing, Hey, does that mean the things I like will get destroyed too? The wishes of my and this is Shigaraki talking. The wishes of my comrades are separate. The wishes of my commands are separate. Do as you like. And Toga's just like, alright, yay! And we have the Mad Doctor coming out of his chair. You're even more than I expected, Shigaraki. And Shigaraki's just like, just continuing the conversation. Bastard, you were messing with me. And we go back to the Mad Doctor. I wanted to see how much you have grown with my own two eyes. I had planned to cooperate with you from the start. These little guys here are part of that. And what's more, I've been preparing some research for you. Research? What kind of research? I do not like where this is going. And Shigaraki is just surprised at that when the Mad Doctor just said research. So, what does the Mad Doctor have this research for him? And we just continue. Let's continue from here. However, I won't hand it over just yet. You guys are weak. That's a fact. I'll have you guys attain a I'll have you guys attain at least a bare minimum. Unlike me, that thing isn't so naive as to accept you so easily from the bottom of its heart. So it's probably about Giga. They're talking about Giga at this point. Giga, make him submit to you. Only then will I give you my everything. If you want it, grab it with your own two hands. Ah, I see. And that's Shigaraki talking. I see. That was a hell of a long tutorial. And he still has his gaming quirk. His gaming quirks to sort. And hold on. And we go back to Dabi and Toga. And Dabi's talking. I ain't helping. You can go do as you like, leader. And Toga's just continuing the conversation. He's just a bit salty that his flames didn't work on it. And Dabi's continuing. Shut up, crazy girl. I'm on the verge of finding some good members, so I like to spend more time on that. Yeah, well, you're probably just gonna burn them all. I don't I don't give a shit about the leader's innermost thoughts. I move on my own accord. Got it? And Shigaraki's just looking at Dabi, just saying, I'll look forward to seeing who you bring back. And we have the Mad Doctors butting in. Ah, in that case, I want Dabi to come help me test out these high ends. And that's how we got into the Endeavor arc with the high end Nomu. And let me remind you, that high end was only beaten by the combined strength of both Hawks and Endeavor, just barely beating him. His taste, his aesthetic aesthetic sense, they're perfect. Such a strong convention, convection, a strong connection. Were you even listening? Well, then hurry up. Send us back here. Send us back there. I'm suddenly feeling pretty motivated. From here on out, use these to contact me. So he passes like badges or something? And then he suddenly busts out a tiny little Nomu frog thingy. Now then, John Clan, John Chan, click, and send them to Giga. And so now we know where the black teleportation ink. Oh, so it's not really the Mad Doctor's quirk. So I thought it was like on the last chapter, it was like confirmed that he was responsible. So he has a no mood to do that. Okay, never mind. So they teleport back to Giga, and Shigaraki's like back to try and take Giga down. And Shigaraki's like, yo, the future king has returned. And he's just trying to be boastful and you're no Megatron, but you're working on it, man. And we go back to Giga. A king, a king is one who commands respect, someone who is strong. And we get more Spinner's narration. It's been a long story. A battle with Giga. This is our reality. And now our feature presentation. And we see, what the fricky that? And we're on the last page on this. And we just cut back to Monday, and there's like a weird blob or something, and then like construction on the second to last page, like construction or crime zone or something. I can't really tell. Where at probably the child's hospital or the or a school, because I can't tell where the Mad Doctor was, and on the last panel we cut directly right back to Destro's son, and with Spinner's narration, the destruction of the League of Villains. An an interpret an interpret smile, and Destro's son is smiling. So number 222 end. And I wanted to say, what is that pile of blob in the third to last panel? Like, is that a blob, or is that organs, or like spewed organs on the ground? Like someone has killed someone again? Because I could desperately see a finger or something. And I would like to say, this is so these last three chapters have been crazily nuts because we get more information on Shigaraki, the Mad Doctor, Giga, a whole lot of information just spewed from these last 3 weeks. And I want to say, why would they point to Spinner being the main focus of the narration text? Unless some people say that he's going to either leave the League of Villains, or I'm probably, and this is just my way of thinking, that if that's the way it's going, I don't think Spinner's not going to leave that easily with his ideals not as the same as Shigaraki's ideals, because Spinner only joined because he listened to the ideals of Stain. But this is not clearly Stain. It's just like that Shigaraki's a madman, and he's gone crazy. So I probably think that Spinner could actually die. I think he will probably get killed off in this arc, maybe. Because why have emphasis on focusing on, we've seen multiple times throughout these last three chapters that we keep seeing Spinner. I know he's like the narration, but the source of the narration, but I think he might actually die, like later on, like get killed off, maybe in this arc, or maybe he is that pile of organs that we see in the third to last panel on the last page. I'm just thinking. So I guess that's what we're going to get until chapter 223, and we're probably just going to continue where we left off with what's been going on, and we're going to get back into the story with Destro's son and what he's been doing during the day, like days after that's been going on. So until then, I hope to see you all again, and I would like to say I hope you all had a good day, and I'll see you next week. So until then, have a good day, everybody, and see you next time. Bye for now.